Good morning and greetings to all of you on this day of February the 11th, 2021. Blessings to you all. So, today I want to talk about the level of darkness that I experienced as an African wife. The level of darkness I experienced. This is going to be part 5. So, when I was married to Tony, if some of you all seen part 1, 2, 3, and 4, then you would know what I'm picking up on from that point of view. However, the level of darkness I experienced is that, the first video I told you in part 1, 2, and 3 was that um, after 25 years of celibacy, um, Tony and I got together. And when I first got off the plane or whatever, and he greeted me with a kiss, and had no thoughts, no plans on committing fornication at all, but it took place. However, I remember the day that it did, and I was going off to sleep that night, and I had this horrible dream, and I could tell that something was imparted in me during the sexual intercourse, and it was an evil spirit, okay. But I didn't. I knew that it was something wrong because I woke up screaming and crying and stuff like that. And so he kind of woke me up and was asking me what was wrong. And so the images that I seen in that dream were images where some things that he had committed that had to do with blood sacrifices. I didn't recognize it at the time, but later on, by and by, as things started to um, progress mentally, but I was still like I was just really just stuck, pretty much. I loved him, and so outside of what I seen in that dream, I still proceeded to go on. I'm in a very good place than what I was some months when I first did the first 2 videos that you all seen. Some of you, 1, 2, and 3 is in one video, and then part 4 is a single video of the Deception Wife. So moving right along. So I still, stayed with him and maintained, our marriage as much as I could. I felt like, prayer would change things. But I want to encourage some of you all that, no matter how much you pray, it doesn't mean that God doesn't hear you. It's just some things it's just not meant to be. Okay. And so I just want to help some of you women with that, and men as well. Some things are just not meant to be. So so that went on. And then I still stayed with him. I met all of the friends and all this stuff like this, not knowing that even those, they were in a cult too as well, and doing blood sacrifices. So there was a lot of stuff going on where I was concerned. Even before I got over that, there were things and rituals that were done toward me even before I got over there and married him. So really what you could say is the marriage was an arranged marriage, unknown to me, but I didn't know all of this until I done came through most of these things that I'm sharing with you now that I had come through. So anyway, the experience to all of that is one day he and I were in the kitchen, and his mother was there. And so I was questioning him on this female that I always felt like was not his sister, but was his girlfriend. Not a wife, but a girlfriend. And so anyway, because previous to my coming and us, we became best friends, he and I, blah, blah, blah. And between me going over there to visit before I got over there, one day he and I were videoing, and I noticed he was in his underwears. And so I was like, well, why you in your underwears? And I said, your sister there. I said, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He was, it's culture. They blame everything on culture just to manipulate your mind. But if you don't know, you don't really know. You just don't know. So anyway, I said, well, okay, maybe it's just his culture, you know what I mean? So I kind of like stopped trying to read into everything until later on by and by when I see that, you know what I'm saying, even though I was treating her nice whenever I seen her when I got to Africa, she would always be real abrupt with me, like she just did not like me, okay? And that was fine. So I really started figuring out, okay, yeah, it's something deeper than this. Ain't no sister. This here was, his woman. So anyway, moving right along. So that's when I had to went over there. But as time went on, I noticed a lot of changes with me mentally. I started to not really read my word like I was doing before. I started to not really worshiping and praying like I was doing before. I started not really talking about God as much. Hadn't backslid, but the Lord just started to just be in the opposite of my life. Not recognizing I have partaken with a person who is very demonic and evil, not knowing none of that because he came with such humbleness and and like he's just so nice and treating me like a queen and etc. All of this stuff. And so I had no idea that I was dealing with a wicked person. Even in the dream, I just thought I had just had a bad dream. But it wasn't that. It was because I had laid and partook with a person who had been doing evil rituals long before I ever came along in his life. This was a part of his life in the first place. Not all Africans are like this, but you just need to check your few. You need to check your few. So anyway, moving right along. At one point, when I was over there that second time, I felt like I was about to lose my mind. I never told nobody nothing. I just kept crying and crying and crying and wanting to come back home and all these type of things, not knowing that I'm being worked against. So I'm gonna say this. We say that the witchcraft don't work and blah blah blah. No, it don't, but then it do to a certain extent. You just have to have your mind stayed on God. You know what I mean? So that he can protect you. There's a level of protection that God would definitely protect you if you will allow him to. So move right along. So at this time, one point in time, I started about to lose my mind and all this stuff. So getting back to the part where me and him was in the kitchen cooking. Let me go back to that. Let me rewind. And his mother was there. Told her that I was in the kitchen cooking. And so I was mentioning to him about the one who he said wasn't his sister, okay? I mean, it was his sister that I felt like I always with his sister. So I was questioning him about that. So he was going back to his mama. We was going back and forth, he and I, from the kitchen to the living room where his mother was at. And he was talking in his language to her. I said, it don't matter what you saying to her. I know what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? But I still proceeded with my marriage because I wanted to give it a try, okay? All right, so he told me these words while he was standing over there saying. He said, I am too overwise, is what he said. Those his words. I'm too overwise. And I said, no, I'm not too overwise. I'm just not a fool. But I'm not too overwise. You can never be overwise. Okay, those are the words they kind of use a little bit. And so he said, I want your head, is what he said. I didn't really pay no mind at the time. But I was like, really? He want my head. So I want to say, I said those things to say this to some of you women that are probably now, while I'm speaking, dating an African. You don't know how he get over here, but he over here. You don't know where he come from, but he over here. Probably made up some kind of lie that he got a job permit and he was sent for and all this kind of stuff like this. Let me help y'all. Let me help us with some. We feel like, I know this was my feeling, is that all of us is in this basket together. This was my feeling. And, why would they have something against me? Or why would, what I mean? Why would they try to use me? We all in this together, and blah, blah, blah. But they don't see it that way. They see us as the white man, whatever you want to call it, property. So whatever means necessary to try to use us, no matter about your heart, no matter about your pure spirit, no matter about your relationship with God, these folks are one thing, and that is to get over him so that they can get a job and take care of their people over there. It is not about you. It's about you until they come. Okay? And so when they're not wise, like he wasn't wise, they try to make a fool out of you and you don't pay no attention because you locked into that thing that they first told you, it's my culture. I just don't do it like this. I do it this way. Want you to accept all their ways, but you don't even know you being played. You don't even know it. You being played the whole while. So what I'm saying to you y'all, and they go so deep with it though. You know what I'm saying? They marry us, come over here, stay with us, be cooking and stuff, feeding you witchcraft, and you don't even know it, putting stuff in your food and all this kind of stuff. Cause they got people everywhere they go. Over here too. They get what they can, they talk their language, all this stuff. Cause they don't think that voodoo and put stuff in people's food is wrong. You gotta understand, these folks don't think that stuff wrong. They don't think killing you off is wrong. They look at it as a pleasure and a treasure, and like they giving something back to their country by killing you off and taking your stuff. So they're moving your house, feed you all the witchcraft in the world. You don't have no idea. You think they just fixing you a nice meal. They just being nice. Oh, he loved me, all of that. And all along, they putting stuff in your food, trying to kill you off so they can take a residence wherever you live and take your stuff. These folks don't be stunning you. I know. I had firsthand experience. So what you need to do is test your fruit. Because if they poor, they ain't had nothing, ain't got nothing, they trying to get over here to get something. And if you got a little something, they trying to kill you to marry them. They trying to kill you on out so they can get your stuff. And they don't have to account to immigration for nothing. But to go to immigration, you know what I'm saying? I stayed married to her. I stayed married to him, blah, 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 however it go. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm still here. So immigration can feel sorry for them and let them stay. These folks have gains. They already have stuff planned and plotted. The enemy tried to kill me. That's why I'm telling you now. I had to get not just delivered from emotional stuff. I had to get delivered mind, body, soul, and spirit from the Lord. Okay? Because can't nobody break stuff off of you and do stuff but God. He the only one can. I stayed in prayer. I stayed consecrated. I had powerful people praying for me. And all that. And that's how this stuff broke. Okay? And everything that ain't like the Lord went back where it belonged to. So what I'm saying to you all is this. That's what these folks do. They marry you, kill you off, untraceable. They say you had cancer or you died from heart failure or you died from kidney failure because they be done did things to you that cause kidney failure. You know, people can put some of your food, work on your kidneys and everything. So y'all don't believe it's real because y'all thinking, well, how though? Because I see everything he do. No, you don't. You don't see what he do. You don't see him when he goes to the bathroom. You don't know what he rubbing on himself. You don't know that. You don't know, and that's what's wrong with us. We want to play ignorant and like, you know, it's okay, it's okay. They had you talking to them and be drawing on your spirit. You don't know what's going on. It be them pulling on you, pulling on your spirit. Trying to get you to call them and run up behind them and run them down and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all. Listen, you better watch what you in. These folks is deep. So deep that they will marry you. I'm going to say it again. Be working on you. Really want your demise, want you to die. So they can come in and get your belongings. Your house, everything that's in there and everything. But you to sign stuff over to them. That's the first thing they're going to be to do, sign stuff over to them. They'll see how much leverage they got with you. Then once they find out you weak, they come in for the kill. And you wondering, it's too late to wonder what happened now because you gone. So I'm telling you, let's be some wise people. Let's be some wise people. I didn't even know I was going to get on here and do a part 5. But these folks will kill you off by any means necessary. They ain't never had that and they want it all. They people who like to live nice at your expense. They love to live nice. What am I saying about your expense? That means they'll come in to pay your bills and things of that nature, but they be waiting on you to get some of value so they can get ready to set you up. Want you to get loans and stuff for them and everything. Tear up your credit when you can't get nothing. I'm just letting you know what it is. These folks ain't studying you. It's all about them and their culture. They're not trying to learn nothing. They're not trying to change or anything like that because they feel like changing is letting their ancestors down. They feel like changing is letting their people down. They're not finna get ready to change. So all this stuff, they be talking about God this and God that, and he praying, he love God. Most of them folks be faking and shaking. Most of them are Muslims. You got a few of them that love God. You got a few of them that's really sincere about God, but it's very few in number. So be wise. Letting these folks stay out in your house and stay in your place and all that. And this thing you know, you dead. They done got everything. They even got your children stacked with their mouth closed. Children can't do nothing about it because that's how much divination they be done worked. Going to the necromancer, making, doing blood sacrifice and all that. Even if it's an inside person, let me know. I would never share. I would never share who it is. They let me know. So they done did stuff over your picture. They done sprinkle blood and everything. They done called their friends over and all of that stuff a number of times to their house before they got over him and did sacrifices and stuff. But I'm telling you, that stuff don't work. Like with myself, I give God the glory because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against me shall and will be condemned. That's the word of the Lord. But I'm here today. It's not about me. I'm just sharing with you all what the real deal is. And that is these folks will try to kill you off to take your stuff. Even though material things ain't nothing at the point, your life means everything. You ought to want to be worth it. To remove yourself out of anything that's going to be devastating and that's going to take you away from the things of God. It ain't that important. It ain't that deep. Anything that go to pulling and tugging on you and taking you away from the things of God, you need to relinquish that. But I'm telling you all, don't be foolish. Well, just because it happened to you, that don't mean it's gonna happen to me. All that. Please don't be foolish. These folks will play on you and play on you and play on you and play on you until they get what they want. So it ain't about you, sweetie. It's not about you. It's all about their gain and them getting what they need for their family over there in Africa. Mama, whoever, friends, whoever. Everybody in the promise something to, that's what it's about. It ain't about you. So you need to, if you haven't seen video 1, 2, and 3, and number 4, you need to go back and look at it, and then you'll understand this part of what I'm saying. This is the last ending of this. I wanted to get on here and share that. If they marry you, you had a nice house, you got nice cars, you got plenty to offer. They're ready to marry you. Get that 10-year green card. Try to play you into the left. They act like, they don't like sex and all this kind of stuff all of a sudden. And they don't want to do it. And they just tired. They've been working and all this kind of this stuff they're going to be feeding you. Make you think it's something wrong with you when you know all along everything about you working. You even working. You understand? That's about the cleanest I can put it. But that's the excuse because they didn't be wanting you no way. It's all about getting over here and looking out for their family over there in Africa, their people. And setting up for whoever it is they want to bring. Some of them do be married already. Okay? Their country not like ours. They can change their name over there and everything because they try to come over here and do the same thing. You can't change your name and do all that over here because we got a government that will send you to federal penitentiary. They don't play no games about that's fraudulent stuff like that. They don't play no games, period. This is the United States. This is the U.S. of A. That's why they say it like that. So I'm just letting y'all know. I'm letting you know. Watch yourself. Watch your surroundings. You understand? It's what you need to be doing. So I'm telling you today, they don't play fair. I'm warning you. Some of y'all hard-headed anyway. You're going to do what you want to do. You're going to have the experience the hard way. I just pray it don't be death. Because that's how deep they go. And why? They against, most Americans. I don't know. I can never think of that for the life of me. All I can think about is to come back from slavery time. Well, these folks have really been programming and thinking that they bending us. That's one. And programming and thinking like, you know what I'm saying? They just gonna use us because we belong to the white man. It's all kind of crazy stuff going on in their mind. When really we belong to the Most High. All of us belong to God. But they don't see it that way. And they hurt you. They get what they want. I'm just telling you from experience. I'm happy today. And I'm happy to be able to share this information with you without crying, without squinching. You know what I mean? You need to know what's going on. You need to know. You need to know. You need to understand that this is real. This is really real. Okay? So know that I love you. I want you to pass this on. The video not very long. And you need to understand, by any means necessary, these folks will kill you off to take what you done worked so hard for all your life. So don't be sitting up there staying with these folks for the sake of love and you can see straight through this stuff. Because God give you, He give you an eye to see. See, what we do is we choose to believe what we want to believe. And we choose to put up with the things we want to put up with. When the Lord has showed you the route all along, let it go. Leave it alone. So the enemy going to be mad about this because now to let y'all know what they did and what they really be doing. These folks will kill you off. They sure will and think nothing about it. So be wise. Let them stay over there and you stay over here. Let us start dealing with our own kind. Who we understand, they understand us. That's what we need to be doing. To this day, I can honestly say that I have forgiven Tony. I have moved on. Doing great things in my life. God is doing great things. And it ain't about moving on to no other man. It's about moving on, moving forward, bossing up in some areas. Not saying that I won't be married again. Absolutely will. If it's the Lord's will and He got that in the heavens for me, definitely gonna come to pass. Absolutely. But it would not be another Africa. It would definitely be my own culture. So let's stick with our kind. Remember that Jesus loved you and so do I. And please pass this video along. Have an awesome day.